Before America had skyscrapers, before borders, flags, and presidents, before the columns got lost and accidentally became famous, something else existed here. And no, I am not talking about a few tribes with tents and campfires. I am talking about cities, engineered artworks, advanced knowledge, and the culture so old that history books completely skip them. Because here's the uncomfortable question: what if America didn't begin in 1492? What if an entire chapter of human civilization was erased? Tonight, we are not following myths, we are following evidence. And trust me, by the end of this video, you will never look at America the same way again. Some of the history is still buried under shopping malls. Yeah, awkward, but we will talk it about later. Let's start with what we all learned in school. The Christopher Columbus sailed the ocean blue, found America, and boom, history begins. End of story. Except the version of history is like watching the last 10 minutes of a movie and pretending you know the plot. Because when Europeans arrived, America was not empty. It was alive. Millions of people lived here. Complex societies, trade networks, astronomy, architecture. So the real question becomes, how deep does this story actually go? Long before Europeans arrived, America was home to powerful civilizations. Not myths, not legends, the documented cultures. Let's talk about one that most nobody mentions. Cahokia, the forgotten city. Around thousands years ago near modern-day St. Louis, there existed a city larger than London at the same time. Let that sink in. Cahokia had massive earth pyramids, planned city layouts, population estimates of 20 to 40,000 people. That's not a village. That's a metropolis. And today, most Americans drive past it without knowing it exists. History didn't erase it with fire, it erased it with silence. Here's where the thing gets strange. Many ancient American sites show precise astronomical alignments, structures aligned with solstices and equinoxes, earthworks visible only from the sky. Now ask yourself, who were these people building for? Why design something that only makes sense from the above, before airplanes existed? Some structures stretch for kilometers, giant shapes of animals and symbols carved into the land itself. It's almost as if these cultures thought in long time scales, had advanced surveying knowledge, or believed someone or something was watching from above. Spooky. Yes. Coincidence? That's getting harder to believe. Now let's talk about something that makes historians very uncomfortable. How did humans even get here? The official answer: they caused a frozen land bridge from Asia. Okay, fair. But then explain this. Similar symbols found in America, Egypt, and Mesopotamia. Pyramid-like structures across multiple continents. Myths of great floods shared by the cultures that supposedly never met. Either everyone copied homework from each other across oceans, or there was contact we didn't fully understand. And history hates option number 2. Now we enter the dangerous field. Artifacts have been found that don't fit the timeline, don't match known cultures, get quietly stowed away or labeled anomalies. Stone tools found far older than expected. Structures that shouldn't survive erosion but did. Symbols that appear where they shouldn't exist. Even evidence doesn't fit the story. The story usually wins. Funny how that works, or scary, depending on how much you like the truth. Let's be honest. If an advanced civilization existed in America before recorded history, someone would have said, guys, we should probably write this down. But maybe they did, and maybe their records were destroyed. Their descendants were wiped out by disease, or their knowledge was intentionally ignored. Story isn't written by the most advanced, it's written by the last one standing. Here's the truth, and I'm being responsible here. We don't exactly know what existed before America, but we do know this complex civilization lived here long before Europeans arrived, with knowledge we still struggle to explain. Something existed, something important, and parts of it are still buried literally. But here where things get really interesting, because in my next video we are going to talk about artifacts that were hidden from the public, sites that were intentionally ignored, and a certain powerful institution that decides what history you are allowed to see. Some people call it a conspiracy, and others call it a curation, and I call it a story that doesn't want to be told. So if you think history is finished, if you think we already know everything, you might want to subscribe, because the past is not done with us yet.